today I'm going to show you how to apply foot poultice. So the first thing that we would always do is make sure that we've got all the equipment that we need ready. So I've got that laid out here on the table. Got some hot water to soak the poultice in first. We've got your poultice. Poultices come in various forms and brands. This is just the one that we use. Some vet wrap, some padding to hold it all in place, and some duct tape. We've made a duct tape square here which will keep the foot bandage waterproof and will stop it wearing through while the horse is in the stable or the field, and just keep your bandage protected for that little bit longer, and some scissors. So it's important to get all that stuff ready first so that you're not running back and two while you've got the horse's leg held up. I've got a couple of assistants here. One is going to hold the horse and the other person is going to hold the leg up for me. It is possible to do it on your own, but it's easier if you've got someone to hold the leg up for you, and it's quicker. So you soaked your foot poultice in some really hot water, basically as hot as your hand will stand, and that will help draw any pus out of the foot or bring the abscess to a head. Before you've done that, you could tub the foot, so you could put the foot in some hot water with a little bit of salt in as well. That would also help to soften it, to draw any pus out, and to encourage it to burst. So some people would cut a small patch and just pop it on wherever the abscess is. Sometimes we'd cut a large patch if you don't know where the abscess is but you're very suspect, then we'd put a big piece of gamgee across the whole of the sole of the foot. But in this instance I'm just going to put this here, and we'll just, for role play purposes, pretend that that's where it is. And then we're going to hold that in place with a figure of 8 bandage. Now this is just the padding, so we go round the hoof in a figure of 8, making sure that that is held in place, and you don't bandage your assistant's foot in, and just take it just above the heels to anchor the bandage in place, otherwise horse will just walk straight out of it. And then you can just fill in the gaps around the front. So that's a nice padded foot bandage. Alternative to this, you could use a kid's nappy. Now you don't want the newborn size, you want something a little bit bigger. And the good things about nappy is that you've got the two sticky tags that you can stick it to each other so it just stays in place, and that's really good for absorbency purposes and for padding. So then again we start around the top, just to anchor that in place, and then we cover the foot in like a figure of 8 dressing, going round the toe, back round the front of the hoof and the pastern, and just trying to cover in all these gaps that you can see there underneath. You need to make sure that you come well up to the front of the hoof, otherwise the horse will just step out of it. You don't want to be too tight, but obviously it has to be tight enough that it's not going to come off. So that's your vet wrap. And then we get our duct tape square, which is made basically by just crossing over the duct tape. You just have to rip that off, about the same sort of size as the horse's foot, and you just stick that down, and that will protect the dressing while the horse is in the stable, or if you are turning it out with it on. They don't last as long if you turn them out, but if it's in the stable then it will stop it wearing through.